When we return to our planet, the High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies, we like movies. Septum Sin versus the world. Septum Sin versus the world. Septum Sin versus the world. Septum Sin versus the world.
I'd buy that for $1.
Greetings! You're watching Septum Sen versus the World. I'm Septum Sen. I'm here with Kotobuki J.
Yes.
And we're here to show you what they got.
Yes.
So, have you heard anything on the, Gundam front?
Well, there's no Gundam this week.
Oh, well.
There's actually not a huge amount this week. It's fairly light.
Yeah.
So that's not entirely surprising that, no Gundam. But
We have some heavy hitters, though. That
we do have a few. Mm-hmm. And of course, we're going to lead off with one of the heaviest of the heavy hitters of them all.
The slideshow.
The slideshow.
Go right ahead. That was a nice slideshow.
Yes.
Very heavy hitting.
So, first up, we have the Beach Bum.
Oh, yeah. Big
A
one.
rebellious stoner named Moondog lives life by his own rules. That's IMDb's one-liner description. All I know about this one is that it stars Matthew McConaughey in a... You either loved it or hated it performance, but I think a lot of people were like, it was him trying to play the dude, sort of, but a stoner version. Oh, well, wait a minute, what am I saying? Never mind. But also Ela Fisher, Snoop Dogg, Zac Efron. I mean, that's an interesting cast.
Yep.
And Jimmy Buffett's in there as Jimmy Buffett. So, okay, that might be an interesting one. That's all I have to say.
I really liked Surfer Dude.
Yeah.
It was a good movie. I really enjoyed it. So maybe this one would do. I mean, it had Willie Nelson in it.
I mean, the ones with McConaughey is sort of like the carefree lifestyle by the sea. I mean, I liked Fool's Gold. I'll admit that was a fun movie.
Yeah,
so, who knows? It'll be fun.
Well, what we have up next is I'm just going to start with one of the Essentials releases.
Ooh.
I can't remember what I call it, Noein or... No.
I think it's Noein. I don't know.
Either way, what's interesting is I was introduced to this one prior, and I've got this set. Well, not this set. I got the old release. I think it's actually a prior to Funimation release.
I'm wanting to say Guinean or ADV did it originally, but I can't remember.
But yeah, there was a girl I dated for a short time that really liked the series, and that's how I picked that one up and Seven. Different people, but recommendations. I'm like, okay, I want to get to know more about this person. I'll check this out. I got it for like $10 at Movie Stop. God bless them. And it's actually not bad. It's about these people who are living in this current time period, and these time-traveling versions of themselves come back from the future, and it's a terrible future, and half of them are wanting to end all time, and half of them are trying to fight to preserve it. And this one girl is the key to everything. It's pretty complex. The story gets a little very muddled towards the middle, but still pretty good action, pretty decent sci-fi anime, worth a watch.
All right. So, I'm trying to do some last-minute research here. We have an interesting set coming out it looks very interesting, coming out from Shout Factory, and it's a Universal Horror Collection. It's listed as Horror Collection 1.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many of these they're planning on doing. They have one listed for July that's, coming along. So there's definitely some more coming. But this one looks like the emphasis is on, I think you said Vincent Price.
I think there's a Lon Chaney in there, too.
Okay.
But, or it could be Lon Chaney Jr., but it's definitely Lon Chaney.
Yeah, I lost the image. Oh, here we go.
A Lon Chaney of a different color.
Black Cat, The Raven, Black Friday, and The Invisible Ray. But I don't know. What I do know is that these Shout releases are pretty good. They're pretty solid releases. And I could certainly use for some more old school horror in my... Although this sounds kind of like that Vincent Price collection I picked up not long ago, so who knows. But for those of you who are trying to get your old school horror collections, this might be a fun series to check out, definitely.
Now my next one is one I want, but I can't get. Because I have no money. But I really want it. And that is Jordan Peele's second film, Us. It's a pretty fun ride. I really enjoyed it. It wasn't as good as Get Out. But it definitely had much more of a Twilight Zone feel to it. It's
essentially appropriate.
It's very much like doppelgangers. Murderous doppelgangers at that. So... And with a twist at the end. Almost a Shyamalan-style twist.
Ooh.
So, it's worth checking out. It was fun. I'm not sure whether it was best to watch it in theaters or not, but I had a good time with it. And I thought it was well acted. So, I would say, yeah, go get out of your house and get this.
Okay.
But if you have a choice, watch Get Out. Get that one. If you have to buy one of the two, get that one. But still, Us is awesome.
Excellent. Speaking of theatrical stuff, actually the first release of the year that I went to see in theaters doesn't make it on my list of films of the year because it's an anthology film, and so it's technically 3 films in one. I guess technically 4 films if you count the connecting thread. And that is Ponot's Short Films Theater Volume 1, also known as Modest Heroes. Again, Shout Factory release. Ponoch, Studio Ponoch, of course, is the studio created by several alumni of Studio Ghibli. And this is their second feature release following Mary and the Witch's Flower. And it features 3 short films. The first one, Kanini and Kanino, is by the director of Mary and the Witch's Flower, Hiromasa Yonebayashi. And it is a really fun little short about anthropomorphized crabs in a freshwater stream. And there's very little dialogue. It's a gorgeously animated, really interesting. Life Ain't Gonna Lose was actually my favorite of the 2, and 3. And it was directed by Yoshiyuki Momose, who is a key animator on many Isao Takahata works. And Takahata was actually slated to do a film for this collection before his passing. But Momose took over the realm of the mantle of the sort of realistic depiction of relatively serious events, but it centers on a young child who is learning, unfortunately, that he has a very severe egg allergy, and it's all about really living with a potentially fatal allergy. And then him and his mother is like this super protective, but also really, it was a really good little short, and I liked it. And then Invisible is directed by Akihiko Yamashita, who is a key animator on many of Hayao Miyazaki's films. And I believe this was his first film as a director. And it's about a dude who is so overlooked that he literally becomes invisible.
Wow.
And it's a very interesting, again, kind of melancholic, and an interesting way to... And overall, it's a great collection. And this one kind of snuck up on me. I'm very much hoping Walmart will get it for a cheap price, because they're so inconsistent with
Mary
these...
and the Witch's Flower keeps going on sale.
They were so freaking inconsistent with these shout releases, though. It's so crazy.
Probably
They probably won't even get this one. But regardless, it is one I'll have to pick up, and I highly recommend it for anyone else, particularly anyone that's into short film and yeah.
Do you think this one will make your top 10 or comes close to it for July?
Well, it won't be able to if I don't have it.
That's true. That is true. How does it stack up against Memories? That's the only one I can think of that's a good reference.
It's a very good reference, because Memories was similar. It was 3 films, but together. That's a good question. They're both really good. They're both really good. Yeah.
Just have to, when you get it, you just got to watch them back to back and then tell me.
Right. I think
and then loan it to me.
I think I need to get Memories out. I think I need to get Memories out of storage.
Memories is good.
Yeah.
See, when you get that thing, we'll just have to loan each other the copies and we just both do back to backs.
Now we have been watching a lot, and it's coming up a month or so from now. We will have a very well researched list on anime films,
as you'll be able to tell by the next vlogcast.
Yeah.
So last but not least, we have an excellent release. One which I was actually quite happy, as I had gotten an Amazon gift card. I had to cancel it because, again, I've had some hard financial times. So, I mean, literally, I'm sitting there on money. I'm sitting there thinking, like, am I going to have food for the rest of the week sometime? But this, I had a gift card for the amount because Amazon had it like $10 cheaper almost than Right Stuff. Not quite. It's like maybe like 13 or something. Not 13. It was like maybe like 7, 8, something like that. And I finally got the limited edition Sailor Moon, Sailor Stars Part 1, which is coming out this next Tuesday. And I can't wait for it. I'm very glad I was able to scrape the money by for this release. It was actually, it was money that was at least not put towards something else. And with these limited release sets, you never know where they're going to go.
Right.
Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. And I don't know what their production's going to be like on it. Sort of like those Best Buy steelbooks. I don't know. And this is very important. This is the first time this series has been released officially in the United States. And once they get the second part out, they will have completed the original run of Sailor Moon. Because they've got all the movies out. They've got all the rest of the series out. And come next Tuesday, they're going to have all the rest of it out. Just missing a half a part. I'm really excited. It's by far the best season of the original. It was.
I'll have to see it one of these days.
It was shunned here because of transphobic America. Because the Sailor Starlights, which are a boy band, It's hard to tell whether they're just, girls disguised as men, or whether they're men that actually transform into women when they transform. That's a little bit harder to say, but that's the point that they're able to say, well, lesbianism is fine because they're cousins making out with each other, which, yeah, that makes it much better. Great job.
Didn't you
Excellent.
know?
But this time they just couldn't do it. They couldn't get around it. I mean, they made Zoisite into a female, which, so that way they could skirt around it then. But again, they just couldn't do it this time, which is sad because the villain was awesome, the transformations were awesome, and they got the pacing near perfect for the first time, really, in that original series, because the pacing was awful in the series. It really was one of the best Sailor Moon. So if you have watched Sailor Moon and you've been working on trying to get these even the cheap way, I would definitely get on board with this. This really is awesome. And the only one I have right now is this bootleg thing, which I'm not even going to show. You can look up our bootleg discussion. We did one a while back. And I think I had that one on there. As soon as I get part 2, that bootleg is going in the trash. I'm not giving it to anybody. It's going out of circulation. It's only there out of necessity. So, go out and get it. Alright, well, that's all I got. You got anything else?
No, it does for me.
Alright, well, we hope you've enjoyed this. Of course, like, subscribe, and share, because sharing is caring. And we'll keep raising that viewer subscription count pretty soon. I'm hoping to eventually start up a Facebook group for this particular YouTube channel. So I encourage all of you, once you see it, to join. I'm going to have some interactive stuff coming up, which is going to be pretty cool. So I will see you on the next one.